Hi everyone, my name is Bahujot Singh and today I, on behalf of our group, would like to discuss on the topic food insecurities in Canada, especially among international students. So, first of all, I would like to begin with the introduction, what actually the food insecurities are. It's kind of a limited or non-availability of the nutritious or good food due to the lack of the monetary funds among the international students or among the natives of the Canada. So, what can be the main reasons behind this? So there are the three main reasons, that's poverty, inflation and underemployment. So being the host of today's podcast, I would like to share the little bit experience of every international students coming in the Canada. So the very first day the international student arrive in Canada, the first and the foremost thing is to find the accommodation for themselves and to pay their rents every month. They have the lot of things to do related to their studies, and they have the limited time or at least time as a preference for their health. Uh, that all things relates to the food insecurities, because the rest of the expenses like their rents, their insurances and their transit expenses are the most important, without which they can't survive in this nation. And they forget that the food is also one of the surviving factor, because they don't have the sufficient funds to sufficient funds for their food, the good food, so they keep the food in their least priority. So so if the student have the good pay rates, or we can say that if the student can be financially good, so they can pay the good attention towards their health, their food, as well as their other expenses as well. So in an international survey, it was found that 200 families are surviving from the insecurities, but within the Canada, 15% of the students are surviving from the insecurities, but 20% are at the major risk. So today we will briefly talk about this factor with my rest of the group members. So I would like to introduce Jasmine, Shiana and Prav in our today's podcast.
Hi, my name is Shiana.
Hi, I'm Jasmine here.
Hey there, I'm Prabhjot Singh.
So we will begin with some questionnaires with my group members. So first question I would like to ask to Jasmine. So what does you think that, what according to you are the food insecurities?
Okay, so I think food insecurity is a type of condition which is caused mainly because of the lack of food, especially which is among the international students, as they have low income and they have very high expenses, because they need to pay their rents as well as their bills and insurances, so they can't afford good quality food and do not have a healthy and active life. Moreover, it is like a disruption of food intake as well as different eating patterns, which is mainly because of lack of money and other resources, and this causes hunger, which is the possible outcome of food insecurity. Food insecurity is not only for the short period but also for a long one too, as it causes a different type of diseases like hunger, obesity, malnutrition, etc. And this is not only a condition which is faced by international students, but we can say that it is around the world.
Okay, so based on your answer, I have a question for you. Like, what do you think that could be the consequences of food insecurity in long term or in later life?
Okay, so I think in long term, food insecurity consequences will be the effect on our human body, as it can affect our physical as well as mental health. Physical conditions, you can say that chronic diseases as asthma, dizziness and all such things. And when we will talk about the mental consequences, it could be like insomnia as a sleeping sickness,
it could be maybe stress and depression as well, because if we are not able to pay our expenses on time, or if we are not able to have enough or nutritious food, we will go into stress that we are not able to handle everything.
Like moreover, students do have hectic schedule, due to which they have to maintain their work as well as their studies. So it is difficult for them to maintain everything and have a balanced diet as well.
Yeah, exactly. And as we all are international students
Yeah.
here, and we can feel the pain, or we can feel the like the condition of those students, or including us who are suffering from such food insecurity, because we are not able to go to our favorite restaurant to eat our favorite food just because we have the lack of money.
Do you think does only pay wages and poverty impact on the insecurity of food?
So yeah, I think basically these two reasons are the like at its top, like pay wages and poverty are the major reasons of food insecurity. But I think there are many other factors that can that can be included to like increase the concept of food insecurity. At first I would like to say like poverty. For example, if we are poor, we are not able to handle our expenses, right? If we are poor, we can't have nutritious food. The second thing is inflation. For example, we are all are international students, right? And we only have 20 hours in a week to work, and the money we get from the work is not enough to like manage the things like our grocery, our transit expenses, and all that stuff. And what I believe is that, like they just incremented in our salary just with cents, right? Just I think a month ago they just incremented our salaries. But the thing is, the prices of groceries are higher than like dollar and $1.50. So it's getting expensive for us to manage our expenses. And third is unemployment. I think people in Canada or international students all find work here easily, right? It will take maybe a month or 2 months, but they can easily find job here. So unemployment is not that much bigger factor, but somehow if we see, it is a factor. Like for example, if a student is moving from his nation country to directly in a Canada, right? And if he or she will not find a job right away after landing here or after coming here, it would be a like major factor of food insecurity for her or like, right? And the last is minimum pay wages. As you know that like in the food court we are getting just minimum pay wages, that is just 15.20, and just in that amount of money it is really tough for us to manage our food expenses. That is why food insecurity is prevailing day by day among international students. That is the main reason of our topic. We are not targeting international students, we are just discussing the causes that is harming their food security in Canada.
So, do you think only international student going through this food insecurity problem?
So basically I can say that yes, but as we know that the majority of people who are suffering for food insecurity are all international students, right? But I can't say that only international students are suffering from this problem, because like for example I work at Tim Hortons, right? And I have seen those people who are native people of this country, but they come to our restaurant and asking for free food just because they don't have money. This is the reason that I think students are suffering, but they are also suffering. And another example is like the people who are taking drugs. They don't have money, they take drugs. Just because they don't have money to eat food, they go to restaurants and to ask for free food. This is the reason that food insecurity is prevailing among international students as well as the native people. And the long lasting impact of food insecurity we can see like outside of the SkyTrain stations, where we can see that people take drugs just because they don't have money and to fulfill their necessities. So that's why they start taking drugs, and then like they just spoil their, like at the edge of spoil their future. That's it.
Moreover, I'd like to add something in it. As I also work at McDonald's, and I have seen people who are taking drugs. They don't have money to take the drinks and the food, right? So I had seen with my eyes that they put their hand in the dustbins to take the plastics, as well as to take the cups for the drinks as well. Moreover, they took the plastic and put in their bags or whatever they have, and they sell it outside to earn money so that they can take drugs. And this is also a major factor which would lead to the food insecurity.
Yeah. And I remember one more example that one night I was working at Tim's and it was about like 9 p.m. in the night, and the people who were maybe who was alcoholic, he just came inside and just he tried to steal the donuts, and we just got scared. So these are the reasons we can see that they don't have money and they try to steal everything. So basically it's a reason of threat for us as well, because
Yeah.
we work under insecure conditions. Okay, so like I have another question. What do you think that the role of government in providing or in covering food insecurity in Canada, not only among international students but it's native people or whoever is going through food insecurity in Canada? What are the initiatives that is taken by the government?
Okay, so here the state government plays the major role in fighting the hunger as well as the problem of food insecurity. Like they have nutrition assistance and certain feeding programs which include food stamps, school lunch, school breakfasts, and after school and summer feeding programs. So the government of Canada is also delivering $330 million to the Emergency Food Security Fund, which which are provided to the national and regional organizations as well, which in turn supports food banks and local food organizations across Canada.
Okay, so the native people of Canada, or maybe except people who are from Punjabi culture or Indian culture,
Yeah.
believes that gurdwaras are providing langars or free food service to only their own community. How far do you agree with this statement, or what is the role of gurdwaras in providing free food service to the community?
Okay, so this is not the perspective you should think about the gurdwaras, as they not only provide food to their own community, but it is opened for each and every people, either from different caste, creed, religion, whatever it is, and they provide free food to each and every person. And as you can take the example in the pandemic during COVID-19, they provided free food to people who were unable to get their food because it was a condition of the poverty, as people cannot go out of their homes to earn money to make their bread. So they went to gurdwaras for eating langars. At that time, there were not only people from Punjabi religion, but also the native peoples who went there and ate food.
Okay, so this means you want to say that gurdwaras are open to each and every community. They serve food to each and every person, but it's our own perspective. Like I'm from Punjabi culture, but people from Western culture thinks that they are just serving food to their own community, right?
Yeah.
And but there is no difference between them. There is no discrimination. Even they can also go and take langar there, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So my next question to Shaina would be, what can be the outcomes of the food insecurity for the international students and the natives of the Canada as well?
Okay, so first I'd like to talk about international students. So if we talk about food insecurity and poverty in international students, it results in low academic grades and unconfident citizen or unconfident community. For example, if we don't have enough food to eat, so we'll not be able to give our best at our workplace or in our educational institutes as well. So this leads to poor performance, and if we have poor performance, then it leads to unconfidence. Will not be an confident community. So these two factors together resulted in unconfident community. And then if I talk about people with drug addiction of the country, they would be like a threat to the society. For example, if the native people, they don't have money to fulfill their food necessity, and they have poverty and they have food insecurity, they will start taking drugs, which leads to a threat to the society and for the rest of the community as well. And then malnutrition is another factor or is another outcome of food insecurity. For example, if we don't have enough food to eat, if we don't have nutritious diet to have, it will result in malnutrition in the society. And not this is the case, the upcoming generations will be like the child would born with some diseases, maybe something like that. So these are the results and outcomes of the food insecurity that could affect the society in a dangerous manner.
So let's move to the next question. So I would like to ask that what can be the initiatives which we can take to solve this problem of insecurity?
Okay, so I think so. There will be certain initiatives we can take in order to cure this problem. So the first one which I would recommend is rallies, in which certain like students should come together on roads and do rallies to the government, so that they can update the government related to the food insecurity, as it is a major problem which they are facing, so that government can raise funds, as well as should do the increase their pay rates, and could help them in eating food and certain other programs which will help them in getting education, as well as in getting we can say that helping to balance their time, as well as to eat a balanced diet. So the next one I would recommend is providing funds through food banks, as food banks are providing food to the children, to the students, to the native people too, and they need funds, as it is an organization which is going from a long time ago, but they still till today they are not able to cure this food insecurity, only because they do not have enough funds, as they are only based on donations. For example, like 4.4 million individuals experience food insecurity, and there are only like 1.1 million visits in March 2018. And moreover, there is a due to increase in population, there is a more demand from the for the food supply. Moreover, due to the increase in population, from the food banks, people are demanding more supply of food. But as I already told that they are based on donations, and they are not getting enough donations, so they provide limited food, like small portion to each individual, which is not enough for everyone to eat. So the last and the most important one is students should provide attention to themselves, as it is the most important thing which should be done by them, because they are earning not only for the families or their responsibilities or because of their growth, but also because of their body, for the food as well. And they should prioritize eating food and have a good balanced diet first, than their work and study schedules. So I think so that it is a famous quote which we can say is health is wealth. If there will be no health, how they will be able to work or do study and focus on their responsibilities, on the job, on the academic works and everything. As well as they will have some physical and mental health issues which will create major sickness, like people get certain diseases which will last lifelong, and this will be effect on their health. So they won't be able to concentrate on their further works, which will create a bad impact and also could be fatal for them.
Yeah, I think these are the issues that like we should look for. And I have something to add up, like a month ago, students were trying to connect to the government or demanding that their working hours should be maximized, or their working hours should be more than 20 hours, so that they can earn good and they can like get their things done. But I think what the reality is, government is just like, you know, making the numbers in the eyes of people of the country or among international students just by like taking decisions. I'm not saying that they are not doing anything. They are doing some good jobs for the international students. For example, they they did increment in our salaries, but look at the increment in just cents. But inflation is increasing in dollars, right? So I just want to say that if you like, if government is really doing something for the international students, they have to do it in such a manner that can help them, right? They should not just show up that they are just doing it. They should do it in such a manner that can help them in real life, so they can overcome the issue of this poverty and food insecurity.
Okay, so I also want to add up in this. As you talked about a government initiative that they help students to get 40 hours work, and also they can do overtime even with their studies. But the thing is, when I went to the university registrar office, to the international student affairs, they told me that we are not able to do it because our university semesters are different from the other colleges or the university semesters. So we can't do 40 hours work or like overtime. So this is the thing that government should take in mind and should do the initiative, whatever they are doing.
Yeah, I can say like, if they can't increase the working hours, if they can't increase the working hours, actually they should at least do some increments in such amount. So like $3, $4 per hour, they should increment in our salaries like $3 or $4 per hour, so that we can get benefits, right?
Yeah.
This is not the only option that we have to work for like more than 20 hours. They can just give us more increment. That is also another option that they can do for us, or they can give favor to us. Okay.
So let me introduce with our guest in the podcast. She is the international student over here from last 2 years, and she would like to share her experience with us. So you can begin in our podcast.
Hi, my name is Kritikar, and I am here in Canada from last 2 years. As I come as an international student, I have a shortage of money at that time, and in those days I have less money and less time. So I prefer drinking French vanilla from Tim Hortons because it was cheap, and also I have I can only work for 20 hours at that time because I was student, and according to Canada government, student can only work for 20 hours. So only on the minimum pay rate at that time, minimum pay rate was so less. So according to these things, so I left with the less money and less time. So French vanilla was my first preference at that time. So these are the things which makes me feel that I was so I can say that I was so poor at that time, and it makes me I can understand that this is a kind of food insecurity and poverty for the international student, and now at this time they are facing it too. I can see so many students at this time, they where I work, I experience so many there are so many students come over there and order French vanilla and medium coffee, double, things like that. So we can understand that they are so poor and they have less money and shortage of time, so they cannot afford this expensive drinks and things like that.
So thank you.
So in the concluding part, we would like to say that food insecurity is a very major problem among the international students. As we already discussed in our podcast, how it is caused and why, what are some reasons by which it could be cured. And moreover, we also given an example and discussed with an international student that how she dealt with this problem and what are her feelings related to it, or what some advice she want to give to us to cure this problem.
also we discussed that how government plays a big role in the in
in curing this problem, and also we can do some initiatives like do a campaign, do rallies, or do some online initiatives as well, as there are certain programs which are being included, like we can raise funds, give funds to the food banks, to the state government, so that they can provide free food to the students or to the native people who are suffering from the food insecurity due to poverty or due to the low income.
also how gurdwaras plays an initial important role in curing these issues and provide a free food service to the society.
So here we end our podcast. Hope everyone have liked it. Thank you so much.